Folks, my name is John. I'll be your tour guide through the wonderful world of geology this summer. Now I know this online learning isn't exactly how you want us to do this class, especially with labs. It's going to be very difficult, right? But we'll get through it. The one thing I want to let you know though is just because it's an online class does not mean this is going to be, you know, a breeze through easy class. If you think about it, if we were meeting in person, we would be meeting in person 9 to 12 hours per week. So think about still that same amount of time you're going to have to dedicate, and then, you know, homework on top of that, to this class, right? So this is going to be a fairly intensive class. First, I just want to let you know that. But second of all, we're going to have a lot of fun. How are we going to do labs this semester online? Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of this GoPro camera and me shooting videos of the stuff and you answering questions therefore. And then we're also going to be using a few tools, online tools such as Google Earth Pro. Now that you've taken kind of, you know, giving you a brief introduction to the class, let me tell you a little about what we'll be doing. First of all, we'll be doing weekly readings and online homework on smart books. This is a Connect chapter through McGraw-Hill. We'll also be using video lecture series. I'll be doing those. You'll put those out and there'll be questions and so to answer about those. And there'll be a important part where you have to deal with the discussion forum. I know many of you probably haven't dealt with this, but since we don't get to participate and interact in person, we'll be doing that via discussion forum this semester. And of course, I'll also have Zoom availability and office hours and all that kind of good stuff. Now, let's go take a closer look at our Blackboard website. Alrighty folks, so here is our Blackboard web page for this course, right? If you aren't familiar with Blackboard, let me kind of orient you a little bit here, right? So here over on this side we have drop-down lists that are going to show you different features for this class. We have announcements, and by default it's always going to open announcements to you anyway. Then we're going to have stuff for this class, and this includes things like assignments, and discussions. We'll talk about both of those in just a moment here. And below that you'll find resources, help resources, both for Blackboard and GRCC help, as well as help for SmartBooks and Connect, which is another software system we will be using. Below that you will find and have access to the syllabus all the time. It's available in PDF and doc, and as well as the schedule. You'll find those here as well. Below that you'll find instructor information, how to contact me, right? And then stuff like grades and some additional tools that you may or may not need. All right. But again, when this class starts, it's going to open up always in announcements. And for this assignment, I've set up an orientation folder here. You can simply go to the announcements, click on the orientation folder, and that'll take you directly to our orientation here. And as you can see, we have this orientation, kind of a welcome message from me here, and then scrolling down, this is kind of how all of our weekly stuff is set up. So you notice I have here an orientation folder. Oops, let me go back to assignments here. An orientation folder, a week 1 folder, week 2 folder. All the materials due that week will be in each of these individual weeks, right? So for example, our orientation folder, to complete the orientation, what you must do by Sunday, 7/5 at 11:59 p.m. All of our assignments, weekly assignments, will be due Sunday evenings at 7:59 or at 11:59 p.m. Sorry about that. And then below that you'll find a bunch of activities to do. For example, in the orientation, the activities are to read and review the syllabus. Oh, by the way, did I mention this is due Sunday the 5th, which is the end of the first week of classes, but you may start this now and any time, right? So review the syllabus. Click on this link. It'll take you directly to the syllabus, right? And then you can review whichever version of that syllabus you would like, right? Now going back past that, when you finish that, you just click this Mark Reviewed tab. This is an ungraded tab, but it'll change it to Reviewed. That lets me know that you at least said you reviewed the syllabus, right? And then we have the same thing for the schedule. You'll click on the schedule, right? And then that'll take you right to the schedule. Click on whichever one you want to take a look at. Examine that schedule. Oops, whenever that happened. Examine that schedule, and then again go back to the orientation folder and mark that review. Right now, the other thing that we'll be doing in this class, it's a little bit different than in-person classes. We'll be doing a lot of discussion, and we're not going to be doing that during the introduction, but we're doing discussion boards. Here I've actually posted a blog, a place for you to put your own little introduction about yourself, right? You can include your favorite hobbies, your favorite pets, right? You know, just kind of a little bit background about you. If you feel like such, please feel free to include a photo or two of you. This will help us kind of feel more in connection with each other, right? And then, you know, once these are all kind of posted, read through them and check out who some of your classmates are, right? I'm sure you'll find that most of them are not science majors, right? So even though it's my job in this class to teach science majors and specifically geology majors and prepare them, a lot of you are non-science majors, so you will all be in kind of the same boat on that, right? But if you feel free, you know, to share a photo or two, and then we'll be doing discussion boards throughout the week. We'll be setting up different discussions that you will be participating for actually in points. These will also be linked, just like everything else, through the assignments, right? So again, back to orientation. Once you have introduced yourself, of course, we'll see your introduction as well, but mark that reviewed. This just kind of helps you keep up on what is going on that week, right? Now, during a regular weekly class, we will also have the Smart Books assignments, which will be linked directly through here, just like this, right? And we will also have the labs, which will be linked directly through here, and video lectures as well. So it'll look a little more full, right? It'll be a little bit more stuff to do, right? But again, as I've mentioned several times, this is not going to be a breeze class. Prepare to spend multiple hours a week working on this, just like you would if you were in person, right? So with that, I am going to end this orientation. I hope that kind of guides you around. Please email me, get in touch with me, call me if you have any questions or concerns about this course or how you might work out with you as well. All right, thanks folks. Talk to you soon.